I remember our youth pastors took a few of us juniors and seniors on a tour of colleges so we could check them out before we made a decision about where we were going to go to college. So we were in Montana and we drove out to Seattle to visit Northwest College in Kirkland outside of Seattle. And while we were there, we were in the cafeteria for lunch. And it was jammed because it was all the college students plus all of the college preview students, the high schoolers. A lot of noise, a lot of just people everywhere. So I stood up on the cafeteria table and I just started yelling at the top of my lungs, "Attention please! May I please have your attention?" And I just kept yelling it until finally the whole place just got quiet. And I said, "Thanks, I do love attention." Somebody from across the room said, "High schooler, get them!" And they just started throwing food and I jumped off the table and ran out the door. And on the drive home from Seattle on that trip, we were coming over, this is in a church van. We came up over the Continental Divide in Montana, up over the mountain pass, and the van was laboring, which is not unusual. It's pretty daunting for most vehicles. And so I remember I was in the front passenger side, and suddenly we saw like a flash underneath the hood of the van, and the youth pastor that was driving goes, "Did you see that?" I said, "Man, that was weird." And then we saw smoke start coming out. So he said, "We better pull over." And sure enough, pulled over into this parking lot and opened up the hood, and as soon as it did, the whole thing just burst into flames. He said, "Everybody out! Don't worry about your stuff or just grab one thing, but get out of the van as soon as you can." So we opened up the doors, everybody piles out, and we had lots of luggage. And a lot of the kids on the trip had just come back from a mission experience, and so they had all their mementos and souvenirs, and everybody just grabbed one bag, pulled it either out of the van or off the top, and jumped out. And we just barely got away from the van, and the whole thing just gets engulfed in flames, and we stood there as the sun set in a parking lot, some random business, while the van literally burned to the ground. And it got so hot it would blow the windows out one by one. The glass would get so hot it would just blow them right out, and then the tires would blow. It was surreal. So here we were, a long ways from home still, not quite sure what to do, and it dawned on me, hey, you know, we're not too far from Flathead Lake, and my next door neighbor across the street, who had been my best friend for years, his parents and their parents owned a cabin on Flathead. I said, it can't be too far from here. So we called, and as grace would have it, sure enough, they were there, and not only did they let us stay, but they came and got us. I think it took a few trips because there were so many of us and they only had one vehicle, but picked us all up and took us to their cabin on Flathead Lake and let us stay overnight while arrangements were made to get us the rest of the way home. In the middle of the night, one of the guys on our trip, he woke up having terrible nightmares. He's screaming out in pain. And he said, "Are you okay?" And physically he was fine, but in his dream, he said he felt like his legs were being crushed. And so we prayed for him and finally got him to settle back to sleep. And then the next day, he gets a call, I think from his parents, to let us all know that his brother, Todd, his older brother, who had been working on a construction crew, had been in an accident that day before, that he was driving a Bobcat and had a bunch of weight on the front, and the thing lurched forward and tossed Todd out of the seat, where he landed down sitting on the floor of the Bobcat with his legs dangling down as the lift thing, the shovel on the front, just closed quickly and clamped it, just crushed his legs, squeezed him down to, I don't know, a couple inches. It dawned on all of us that the pain that his brother was going through on the other side of the country is the pain that Mike was feeling in his dream in the middle of the night. He had excruciating pain on his shins, which is the same place where Todd's legs have been crushed. And of course we prayed and we prayed and we prayed, and miraculously Todd did not lose his legs nor the use of them. Amazing how God works that way.